Hello everybody, NeroX back again for another episode of Reviewing My Childhood, and I don't, normally do face shot or live action parts to my videos, but in this instance I feel I should, because, well, I gotta tell you the story of how I got involved in this game, and if I, talked over the footage, it would lessen the impact of it. So, Einhander came, full disclosure, I was born in 1996, okay? The game I'm reviewing today, Einhander, came out in 1998, I believe. So, because of that, I obviously, and how I got to know the game as well as I know it, comes from my brothers and my dad. My dad introduced me to a lot of games that I ended up loving as I got older. But one of my brothers, I don't remember which of my siblings had it, they had a PlayStation, and one of them had a PlayStation 1 demo disc. Yeah, remember those? PlayStation 1 demo discs? But anyway, I don't know which demo disc it was. You'd have to go look it up. One of the demo discs back in the day had Einhander on it. Okay? Like I said, I don't know which one it was. I don't think he even has the disc anymore, but my dad happened to have played this demo and fell in love with it. Like, he loved it. He loves old school arcadey type of shooters, which is what this game is. Thunder Force, 1942, Einhander, Robotron, Defender, even though he said he sucked at it. But for the longest time, he couldn't find the game. He went everywhere, and this is in like the late 90s. Amazon didn't exist yet. eBay didn't. I don't think eBay existed yet, or it was like in its infancy. So my dad went to every game store he could think of and could not find it. And when I say could not find it, he could not find it. Like, he went to Funkoland, which is what GameStop used to be before it became evil. GameStop, EB Games, Game Crazy, the whole 9 yards, did not find it. Until one day, he went to a place called Clark Mall. Now, if you're not from Chicago and you're not about my age, you don't know what Clark Mall is. Clark Mall was the rattiest flea mall, I think, in human history. Let's get a picture of it, in this spot right here. Okay, that's Clark Mall. The building is still there. It's a charter school now, but Clark Mall was like the junkiest mall, I think, in human history. Like, my dad went in, like, at the time, it sold decent stuff, but my dad happened to go in there. He went and got, like, some clothes or something like that, and as he was walking out, he saw a copy of Einhander on the PlayStation 1 for about $25. He bought it, and he's had it ever since. Like, and the really crazy thing about it is, aside from my father's copy of this game, Einhander, that is the only one of two physical copies of that game I've ever seen in person. The other one was at a vintage shop for $75. I didn't have the money at the time. I didn't buy it. Next time I went back in there, it was gone. So that's a bit of the backstory as to how I got to know Einhander as well as I did. Anyway, on with the rest of the review. Einhander. Oh man. This review is probably going to be the definition of the term a bit nostalgically biased. I'm giving you full warning and full disclosure here. I've been playing this game since I was in diapers. I've been around it since I was in diapers. In fact, I've played it so often I can still recite the intro nearly verbatim. There was a time in an era of great chaos when the Earth and the Moon were at war with each other. A daredevil from the moon piloted a bizarre aircraft. It was feared, and because of its strange shape, called Einhander. Anyway, Einhander is a game that I have, in my opinion, it is far and away the most criminally underrated PlayStation 1 game, I think, out there. And if not the most criminally underrated PlayStation 1 game, out there, it's certainly one of the most criminally underrated PlayStation games out there. Oh boy. Einhander is what we call a shmup, or a shoot 'em up, or a shooting game, or an arcade shooter, depending on what state you're in. This game is hard. You will die. You will die very frequently until you learn the patterns of the enemies and the bosses. I mean, this footage is basically all from the first level, so yeah, that's really all that can be said here. This guy is really freaking good at this game. I'm nowhere near this good. One thing I love about Einhander is the graphical finesse, especially for the time. Granted, the thing I've noticed about consoles is that usually, especially older consoles, is later into the life cycle of the console, the developers would try to do fancier things graphically. In fact, it kind of looks like an early PlayStation 2 game. In fact, that's my theory. I think this might have been intended for the sequel to this, might have been intended for the PlayStation 2. But anyway, Einhander's plot is basically a fictional war between a moon colony, Selene, and the Earth. And the city on the Earth you happen to fly through, I think where Germany is, which is like 90% of this game, except for part of the end is in German. Or 90% of the dialogue, I should say, in the game is in German, except for part of the end. Moving along, Einhander, like I said, it's very difficult, but it feels so satisfying destroying bosses that gave you a hard time. It becomes like about the principle of destroying a boss. It's sort of like what I call the Dark Souls effect, in that yes, the game is hard, yes, the game is unforgiving, but it feels so good when you finally destroy something that was giving you a hard time. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble here, I'm sorry. There are some things I don't like about this game. One thing, for more context here, this game was made right before Squaresoft and Enix Software merged to become Square Enix. So it kind of got lost in the shuffle of that merger. So I don't think a sequel to it will ever happen. But if by some miracle a sequel to this game ever did come to fruition, I would love to see an unlimited continue system, because the 10 continue system when you die is really, really archaic, and that really does bother me. And another thing I'd like to see, aside from the obvious graphical update, is try to offer a bit more story sequences, because there are several CG sequences in this game, and for 98 they look really good. So don't be afraid to try to, obviously update what you did already, even though they look really solid for 98. But yeah, just don't be afraid to add a bit more story to a shooting game, because it not only extends the story arc beyond what there already is, and there's not much there to begin with. It's really simple. But yeah, I dug the story of this game, and another thing I do love about this game is its soundtrack. No, seriously, go look this up right now. The soundtrack is amazing. I've been using the soundtrack to this. In fact, I'm using the theme that plays over the final boss fight as the background music for this video. So go look it up. It's amazing. And can I objectively recommend this now? Heck yes. Play this game. In fact, I won't even be mad at you if you emulated a version of this game, because trying to get it off Amazon is a pain in the neck. So go play this game. You're probably going to die a lot, but seriously, go play this game. It's amazing. It was one of the defining games of my childhood, and I was so relieved of myself, because I didn't start playing it confidently until I was about 10. It took me 11 years to finally finish it. On my a little bit after my 21st birthday, I beat the final boss, and I burned all all the ammo on my special weapons doing it, and I was like one of the happiest moments of my life. I was like, yes, it's finally over. And yeah, go play this game. Go buy it. In fact, let's get this trending. Make Zweihander, which I believe is like the proposed name of the sequel. Zweihander, Square Enix, or re-release Einhander. With all of that being said, boy, there's a lot. I am NeroX. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you want more from my channel. Now I must go. My planet does need me. Peace.